In this video, we are going to talk about largest rice producing countries. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Rice is farmed all over the world, with Asia accounting for nearly all of it. Rice is the primary food supply for more than half of the world's population. There are about 40,000 variations in the world. Long grain, Basmati, wild, and jasmine rice are some of the varieties available. Rice is consumed by humans to the tune of 95% of the world's supply. Rice is cooked and consumed on its own, but it is most typically served with major meals. Here is a list of the top 10 largest rice-producing countries. Let's start. Number 10. Pakistan. Pakistan is the 10th largest rice producer in the world. Pakistan ranked 10th among the world's top rice producers, with 10.412 million tons produced. In 2016 or 2017, Pakistan produced 6.7 million tons, of which about 4 million were exported, mostly to neighboring countries, the Middle East and Africa. Rice is Pakistan's second largest cash crop, and the country has a comparative advantage in aromatic Basmati rice production. Pakistan's rice exports go to China $266 million, Kenya $162 million, the United Arab Emirates $145 million, Saudi Arabia $108 million, and the United Kingdom $92.3 million. Number 9. Brazil. Brazil produced 10.6 million metric tons of rice in the crop, up slightly from 10.45 million tons the previous year. With the exception of Asia, Brazil is the world's largest producer and consumer of rice. It generates roughly 15 million tons of unmilled rice per year, to meet 12.14 million tons of annual demand. In Latin America and Caribbean, Brazil is the biggest rice producer. Brazil, on the other hand, is a major importer of rice. Rio Grande is the leading rice producer in the United States. Rice is grown in every Brazilian state with a tropical climate. Number 8. Philippines. In terms of rice production, the Philippines ranks 8th in the list. Rice is farmed extensively in Luzon, Western Visayas, Southern Mindanao, and Central Mindanao. Rice output has consistently increased over the last 2 decades, rising from 12 million tons in 1999 to 19 million tons in 2008. The Philippines produced the most rice in the world in 2020, with 19.44 million metric tons. The Philippines' main rice-producing regions are Central Luzon, 18.7%, Western Visayas, 11.3%, Cagayan Valley, 11%, Ilocos region, 9.8%, and Bicol region, 9.8% or 6.8%. The Philippines has 4.2 million hectares of rice fields and produces only 11.2 million metric tons of milled rice, which is insufficient to feed 90% of the population. Number 7. Thailand. With a production of about 25.26 million tons per year, Thailand was ranked 7th. Rice is grown in every province in Thailand. Thailand is also known for producing jasmine rice, which is praised for its stickiness and popcorn aroma all over the world. Rice is shipped to Japan in large quantities, where it is used to make crackers and wine. Thailand aimed to export 7 or 8 million tons of rice by 2020. Rice agriculture contributed around 50% of Thailand's agricultural GDP. Number 6. Myanmar. Myanmar produces 25.67 million tons of rice, which ranks it 6th in the world. Rice is the country's most important crop, occupying almost 8 million hectares, or more than half of the country's arable land. The country's rice production increased from over 18 million tons in 1995 to over 22 million tons in 2010. because of the river system that flows through them. Is grown primarily in the Irrawaddy, Bago, and Yangon Delta region. These three areas account for 33.59%, 77.72%, and 10.07% respectively of the total harvestable area. Myanmar exports approximately 1 million tons of rice to 50 countries, accounting for 70% of total exports. Number 5. Vietnam. Vietnam is the world's 5th largest rice producer, in the north and south. The crop is farmed in the Luge, Mekong, and Red River deltas. Around the Mekong Delta, rice production employs 80% of the provinces. Rice production is vital to Vietnam's food supply and economy in the Mekong and Red River deltas. Rice is a mainstay of the national cuisine and is regarded as a gift from God. In Southeast Asia, the Mekong River and its tributaries constitute a major waterway. In 2021 or 2022, Vietnam was the second largest rice exporter in the world, with roughly 6.5 million metric tons exported. Number 4. Bangladesh. Bangladesh milled rice production is expected to reach 52 million tons. Rice is the staple meal for about 135 million people in Bangladesh, accounting for half of the country's agricultural GDP and 1/6 of the country's national income. However, the country currently produces over 25.0 million tons of grain to feed its 135 million people. Bangladesh will need roughly 27.26 million tons of rice as a result. Bangladesh is the world's 3rd largest rice producer, with 3.6 million tons produced, behind China and India, who produce 14.6 crore tons and 11.6 crore tons respectively. Number 3. Indonesia. Indonesia is the world's 3rd largest rice producer. The Indonesian islands of Java and Sumatra generate the majority of the seed, with Sumatra accounting for around 60% of overall production. Around 77% of all farmers who harvest with a sickle or knife plant rice. Rice production is focused mostly on the Indonesian islands of Java and Sumatra, with Java accounting for over 60% of total output. Rice is grown in both Indonesia's lowlands and highlands, with the upland crop often rain-fed and getting little fertilizer. Number 2. India. In 2021, India's total rice output is expected to be around 158 million metric tons, with an estimated annual rice consumption of about 100 million metric tons. It is also the world's 2nd largest rice eater. West Bengal is India's largest rice producer. India produces the 2nd largest amount of rice in the world and exports the most rice, from 53.6 million tons to 56.3 million tons. Production increased, and India has a global rice export volume of about 18.75 million metric tons as of 2021 and 2022. Number 1. China. China is the world's largest producer of rice. It's also the first country to develop hybrid rice varieties, which are the result of the crossing of 2 different types of plants. In the previous year, China produced roughly 211 million metric tons of milled rice. Rice is mostly grown along with Yangtze River in provinces such as Jiangsu, Anhui, Hubei, and Sichuan, where traditional methods account for about 95% of China's rice production. Irrigated rice accounts for more than 90% of China's rice production, with some areas producing 2 crops per year. China is the world's top rice producer, producing 30% of the world's rice. It produces the highest rice yields in Asia, at 6.3 5 tons per hectare. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.